Brawlers, baby.
You're watching the Brawlers Sports Boxing Show podcast, starring CEO Rick Muhammad. The Brawlers Sports Boxing Show podcast. Let's go, Jack.
What's up, boxing fans? Your boy Rick Muhammad, Brawler Sports Media in the building. This is the Brawler Sports Boxing Show. Well, let's do a quick recap. What do we got here? Last weekend, David Benavidez fought David Lemieux with an impressive third-round TKO, if you will. Didn't surprise any of us, right? Didn't surprise any of us. Didn't surprise me. I knew what it was going to be. A lot of people giving David Benavidez a lot of flack about, he fought an older, washed up, going downhill David Lemieux. And be that as it may, but this is not David Benavidez's fault that everybody's saying they don't want to fight him. He's called out everybody. He's called out Canelo. He's called out Charlo. I mean, he's calling out Andrade. Whoever wants to fight, he wants to fight. But the people who sign the contracts, if it's a lackluster fight, hey, it's not his fault. He's like, hey, I got to stay busy. If Lemieux wants to fight, let's do it. I need to keep this ring rust off me, so when we do make these negotiations happen with the big dogs, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be over and beyond 50% ready, stay ready, so I don't have to get ready. That's the rule of thumb in boxing for all you up-and-coming young fighters out there, the future world champions to be. That's it. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You do not need a fight penciled in on the calendar in order to start getting in the gym, preparing yourself. No, you should be in the gym regardless whether you have a fight date or not. Back to Benavidez. Now, Samson Promotions, he's promoted by Samson Promotions, and though he's still part of PBC, tied into PBC as well, they say, Samson Promotions says that Benavidez's next 3 fights, contracts is on the table for whoever wants to sign: Jamal Charlo, David Morrell, and Caleb Plant. The best fight we all know to be made that the fans would want to see, that will be entertaining and explosive, would definitely be against Jamal Charlo. Hands down. David Morrell, Caleb Plant, in my personal opinion, David Benavidez walks through them and makes this fight look easy. And eventually, he's going to beat Charlo, but it won't be as easy as it would watching him fight Morrell or Caleb Plant. But in my own personal opinion, I think David Benavidez beats Charlo. He's a huge dude. I've met him. I've talked to him. I've stood beside him in a photo. He looks like a cruiserweight or small heavyweight even with his height. And I'm like, how the hell does he make 68 every time? Because there's been some times where he's given up a couple of pounds at 68 and paid the money, or lost his strap, or whatever the case may be. But he won the WBC interim belt this past weekend. So let's hope to see him and Charlo get it on. I'd like to see that fight happen before Thanksgiving, if at all possible. Also, breaking news, as you all know, Tank Davis is getting ready to come up and fight Rolando Romero, a.k.a. Rolly, trash-talking Rolly, big mouth Rolly, if you will. That fight's happening on Showtime at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, this Saturday, the 28th of May. That's going to be a good fight. Hands down, Tank wins this fight. Why? He's got more skill set than Rolly. He's the better boxer, if you will. I think he has his equal power as Rolly. Rolly's known for being heavy-handed and some awesome punching power, yes, but he lacks the skill set that Tank has. I think Tank gives him a boxing lesson, beats him up a little bit, a couple of rounds just for running his mouth, if you will. Then he's going to take him out of his misery. And it's going to be a KO, TKO, however you look at it. This fight will not go the distance. I'm thinking Tank won't carry him past 8 rounds. If he can get it done sooner, I'm sure that's the game plan. But I'd give Rolly between 6 and 8 rounds, and it's a wrap. I commend him for his enthusiasm and his belief in himself his confidence, his motivation to want to step up and fight the big dogs this early in his career. But he's just a little bit too green right now for me. And all bets go with Tank Davis, hands down. And I'm sure most of the boxing community out there feels the same way. Also, big in the news, we have Devin Haney is about to head over to Australia to fight George Kambosos. If you guys haven't heard, the latest on that is, and that's next month, early next month, I believe it's June 8th. Bill Haney, the father of Devin Haney, the trainer, head coach of Devin Haney, if you will, has been denied entry into Australia due to a previous felony charge that he had for drugs back in the 70s, I believe it was. So they're going to use that against him. To me, in my opinion, that's a bunch of bull. This is nothing but a ploy from the Kambosos team and trying to get into Devin Haney's head, break up the chemistry, the game plan, the fight plan that they've put together for this fight. And that's a good distraction right there with a team, a son and father team. That's kind of like Shane Mosley and his dad, Floyd and his dad, and now Devin Haney and his dad. And then you throw a monkey wrench into this like this. And, I'm sure Bill Haney has his own lawyers working through this expeditiously to get it resolved so that he can go and be in his son's corner and be his advisor and his head coach and get this championship and this strap done with a victory. I'm sure they're working on that gallantly, we don't know what the outcome of that is going to be. Should that be the case where he does not get accepted and approved to make entry into Australia, Devin Haney, being the poised fighter that he is, the young man is very mature for his age. It's almost like he's been here before, if you will. And I think he's gonna take that negativity, turn it into something positive and great, and he's gonna go out and shine like a diamond in the rough and put on the biggest boxing clinic of his career thus far and win the strap and defeat George Kambosos. And that's what champions do. That's what they're made of. You have to adapt, overcome, prevail. And he's gonna have to do leaps and bounds to get this done. And he'll figure it out. He'll get it done. Devin Haney will get it done. I have Devin Haney in that fight, even though he's in George Kambosos' backyard. Here's the thing. If this fight is close in George Kambosos' backyard, do they even consider giving Devin Haney a draw? Or do they just flat out give it to George Kambosos? Would it be feasible? It probably would have to be more feasible for Devin Haney to stop him, unless he just flat out gave him the biggest boxing clinic upset ever in Kambosos' boxing career. That's the only way I see him getting the W. But my money is riding on Devin Haney. Team Haney will come out of this. More news is that we have Canelo has decided to take the trilogy fight versus Triple G September 17th. The venue has yet to been released. I'm sure it's going to be back at the MGM Arena Gardens in Las Vegas. He took that fight opposed to exercising his immediate rematch clause he had against his most recent loss at the light heavyweight division versus Dimitri Bivol. Smart choice, taking this more of a tune-up fight versus Triple G. You know him. You already got 24 rounds in the books with Triple G. Now you're going into a third fight. Most people feel like the last fight, Triple G won hands down. But his third fight, if Canelo loses this third fight, what does this mean for Team Canelo? He's still done a lot of things great. He still is a superstar in his country and superstar over and abroad in the sport of boxing. So, if this fight he loses, does he retire and be like, I've done enough, I've had enough, I'm out? Not likely. That's not like him. He's not a quitter. He'll probably keep going until he can go out on top with a W in that column. So Canelo's turning down the Bivol rematch to fight Triple G, the trilogy, September 17th. Probably is going to be back in Las Vegas. Also, it's been announced that Andy Ruiz is fighting Luis Ortiz. That fight, I believe, is happening in August. That's going to be a good fight. Luis Ortiz is still, putting in hard work, still getting big fights to try to strive towards getting another title shot, if you will. And I can see how all of this is going to play out again with, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, if he really has retired. The WBC belt that he took from Wilder, Deontay the Bronze Bomber, is vacant. Wilder's ranked number 1. I see what Al Heyman's trying to do here, mixing it up, and then you got Joe Joyce going to fight Joseph Parker. Joe Joyce being number 2 in the WBC rankings. Joseph Parker being number 3. And then Al Heyman throws in the mix Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz. This could very well turn out to be somewhat of a heavyweight boxing tournament box-off to see who gets to fight. The number 1 seed being Deontay Wilder for the vacant WBC belt. Gives Wilder a chance to get his WBC belt back. And somewhere in this mixing bowl, I can foresee Deontay Wilder still coming out as the undisputed heavyweight champ of the world before he retires, should things fall into place this way for him. And we're still probably going to get that big mega fight that we wanted before Fury, which was Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. In my own personal opinion, I think that's what we're looking at. So that's pretty much what's going on out here in the boxing news, if you will. Once again, much respect, shout out, condolences to my man Gary Russell Sr. and the entire Russell family for your loss of your pops. He was a great dude. I met him. Interviewed all you guys at the gym in Capitol Heights, and Senior was a gentleman and a scholar, and he will be missed, and we salute him. Well, that's it for now, boxing fans. I'm your boy Rick Muhammad, Brawler Sports Media. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, by all means, please go and do so now. It's Brawler Sports Media. Subscribe, set the alarm. It goes off as soon as new content that I put out pops up, and you can follow me that way. You can always go back and look at it at another time, but at least you can do is subscribe. Come on, guys. Help me out. Stay with me. We're on the same team, right? Also, you can check me out on Instagram, Brawlers_sports_media. Twitter, @Brawlers, capital M at the end of that. And Brawlers Sports Management Group, LLC on my Facebook page. All right? Until next time, let's go, champs.
Brawlers, baby.